Case Keenum will make his first start at quarterback for the Browns. He talked about the challenges facing a guy like Von Miller, someone he knows who is a former teammate of his.
Yeah, I saw Von's media deal the other day, and I tried to text him, and I think we came to agreement that he's just going to go out there and not rush the quarterback. I think he's going to take a knee every time he gets on third down, so I think we'll be good. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. I think he changed his number. I tried to text him, but he's a tough guy to block and run or pass. So we're going to know where he's at all times. There's no doubt about that.
Let's welcome in Doug Lesmerises, columnist for The Plain Dealer as well as cleveland.com. Doug, if Case Keenum could have got that agreement, I think we would have sent him as a negotiator for a lot of things.
Relationships matter, man, right? Like, hey, Vaughn, we go way back. That's why you want a veteran quarterback. I think it's one of the more important things about having a veteran quarterback is you get a guy with friends so they don't rush him. You can just tell, though, the guy's like like whatever. This is why Case Keenum's here. So it's funny, like, and I'm sure you talked about this a lot with Mary Kay. This is exactly why he's here. You never want it to happen. But when it does, this is exactly why he's here and why I think sometimes you could argue that the backup quarterback is one of the 10 most important guys on your roster, because when he's not playing, he's 30th, and when he is playing, he's practically first.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the decision not to play Baker was the right one. You don't want him going out there and getting hurt worse than he is. Hopefully he can come back. I'm not surprised. Were you surprised by the Browns naming this? Quite frankly, I thought this was what would happen just because of the short week.
I think I would have been surprised if it didn't happen, right? Because there's two ways that it could happen, which is just absolutely, positively, medically, it's impossible. And then there's also I guess technically he could, but it doesn't make sense to do it. So I just thought both of those two things, either one of those options, I just don't know what the rush is, Dave. And the thing is, I mean, clearly the worst case scenario here is Baker plays and they lose. And like he looks terrible and the shoulder is still a lingering thing. And how's it ever going to get better? Case Keenum plays, they're super hurt and they lose is not the worst case scenario, right? They don't want to be 3-4. But if you're 3-4 with your backup quarterback, neither of your top two running backs, we don't know if the tackles or receivers are going to be out. Honestly, it's a built-in excuse. Like psychologically, nobody wants excuses, but you would have them. So, and I do think Baker's at the point where I think anybody healthy might be a better option until he can get back to being himself. So we talked about it on the postgame podcast on Sunday. I thought this made sense, and it's not an issue about how tough Baker is. It's like what's right for him and what's right for the team. And I think it's clear this was it.
Yeah, and I can't imagine anybody necessarily arguing that. The other thing that Mary Kay brought up that I thought was a really good point, Case Keenum has reps with guys that are backups because that's what the backup quarterback does. So the timing isn't as big of an issue with Case Keenum and, say, Donovan Peoples-Jones or Anthony Schwartz or those kind of guys who very well may be your skill position guys if Odell can't go and Jarvis can't go.
Yeah, I'd still rather have Odell, Jarvis, Nick Chubb, Kareem, Jack Conklin, and Jedrick Wills and be like, fine, we don't have any reps. Who cares? So, you don't want to go too far. Like, you know what? What if they just start the whole second team? Why play Bitonio? Why play Austin Hooper? Just play the twos. I know what she's saying, though, and we've made a big deal about that when Baker was a rookie and Baker having those second-team reps with Rashard Higgins, and it's been a storyline that's continued through their careers. So, that obviously timing matters. In the passing game, timing matters. But this really, to me, is about the Kevin Stefanski way of doing business with establishing the run and play action and, smart reverses at the right times where the guys actually flip it and everything that goes into it. It's almost one of those things again, right? if they go out and they look just as good with all the backups, and it's like, man, maybe it's just the system. You could put any player you want out here. But that's actually what you want. You want such belief in the system right now that the second teamers could run it, and that you can look in range of who you are with Demetric Felton and Donovan Peoples-Jones and Dearness Johnson and Case Keenum. And it's nice to have, I think, they have talent to believe in, clearly. Regardless of what happens Thursday, when they're healthy, they have talent to believe in. But I think they also offensively have a system to believe in. And I do think systems can win you games. Systems alone can't win you a Super Bowl. But I think in the right moment, a system can win you a game. And we know how Kevin Stefanski plays.